Most Shopify product pages don't have one big problem, they have a dozen little ones. And every point of friction increases the chance to lose the sale. In this video, I'm gonna show you the exact framework that I use to audit Shopify product pages so that you can identify problems yourself and increase conversions. Hello everyone, my name is Ryan. I've been working with Shopify stores since 2014. I've had my own e-commerce businesses and I've worked with hundreds of merchants, from stores just getting started to some of the top brands on Shopify. Over the years, I've done hundreds of Shopify audits and I've seen the same problems over and over. So I built an AI Shopify app called PinkyBrain that automates this process. But I'm not here to sell you the app. I'm going to show you exactly how I do Shopify product page audits so that you can do it yourself. All right, so let's dive into this. Every time I do a Shopify audit, I start with a framework called CLEAR, and C is for clarity. When someone lands on your product page, can they immediately understand what they're getting? People are busy, there's only so much time in a day, and you want to make sure that they can understand what the product is as quickly as possible. So when someone lands on the product page, you have to ask yourself these questions. Can I immediately understand what the product is? Are the main benefits immediately visible? Is the page easy to scan? Is the most important information above the fold? Can I quickly tell who this product is for? And are the product images helping explain this product? You want to be as clear and concise as possible. L is for legitimacy. Does this business feel legit? The thing to understand is that legitimacy means different things based on your industry. So for example, if you're a fine jewelry company and you're selling jewelry at $3,000 to $5,000 or more, and you're using Shopify's Dawn theme out of the box with no customizations, you're gonna have a really hard time justifying the price point. Customers are subconsciously thinking, well, wait a minute, how can I give this company $5,000 when their website doesn't match what they're asking for? On the other hand, I worked with a client who created custom containers for moonshine and beer and alcohol, and he would hand make these things and sell them for thousands of dollars. But he just had a plain Shopify website, no customizations or anything. That was legit enough for the sale. So legitimacy is based on the specific industry that you're in. Now, there are things to look for. So does the photography look professional? Does the overall presentation of the website feel polished? Would I feel comfortable giving my credit card to this company? Am I going to have to worry about getting scammed? Am I going to have to do a chargeback? And does this website feel established, or is it just somebody who threw up a website trying to make a quick buck? E is for eliminating objections. When customers land on your product page, one of the things that's subconsciously going on in their mind is, why shouldn't I buy this thing? They're always trying to rationalize why they shouldn't buy something, and you have to overcome those objections. So here are some questions to ask. Is shipping information easy to find? I want to know when I go to a website how fast I'm going to get this product. Is the return policy easy to find? Are guarantees clearly explained? And have other people actually tried this thing? Or am I the guinea pig? You need to reduce the perceived risk and overcome any sales objections that the customer may have. A is for action. How easy is it to buy this product? When a customer lands on your product page, you don't want them clicking around and meandering on the page. You want them to get as much information as they can and take action. The whole point of the product page is to get them to click add to cart. That's it. And so here are some questions that you have to ask yourself. Are variants easy to select? I've seen a bunch of clients where they have multiple variants, like if you're a clothing brand or something, and their sizes are drop downs. So you gotta click the drop down, then you gotta scroll to select your size. That's too many clicks. The customer wants to know, can I purchase this product with as few clicks as possible? The other thing to be aware of is information being buried. You want to make sure that you're giving the customer as much information as they need upfront without having to do much. Am I asking the customer to scroll farther than necessary? What's really interesting is that a lot of clients that I've worked with, they think that customers are scrolling down the entire page, but it's not actually true. If you actually look at video recordings or heat maps of the way that users actually use product pages, a small percentage of users only make it to the bottom of the page most of the time. You want to make sure that the product page is designed in a way that's as easy as possible for the user to take action as quickly as possible. Now, the last letter in our acronym for clear is R, and it stands for reasons to buy. Have I given customers enough reasons to buy this product? Now, I think of this as icing on the cake or sprinkles on top of your ice cream. These are value signals, and I'm talking things like made in America, limited edition, free shipping, first order discount. All of these things are things that can be turned into icons, things that can be sprinkled throughout the product page to communicate value without saying that much. These are little ways to nudge the customer to hit that add to cart button. Now that you understand the clear framework, I'm going to go ahead and audit an actual product page. This product is for the multi-location snowboard. The first thing that comes to mind here is that there's only one product photo. For something like a snowboard, I'd want to see multiple product photos from different angles. I'd want to see one that's zoomed in. I want to see the texture of the actual board. In general, I'm not really a big fan of putting lifestyle photos here in the product image area, but for something like selling a snowboard, I would probably actually do that. Professional photos of someone actually using this exact board, that would actually be pretty cool. The other thing that I noticed right off the bat is that there are no clear benefits right here above the fold. I mean, you see the benefits right here, but the one thing that I would want to see, maybe even right below the price or somewhere in this section, I'd like to see a couple like check marks or bullet points, or maybe even some icons actually. Who is this for? Is this for beginners? Is this for professionals? There are no reviews here, and that's a bit concerning to me. I want to know that other people have used this board and that it's legit. Where was this snowboard made? Is this a snowboard that's made maybe in Canada? And so I'd like to see some sort of icon or some sort of indicator that's like made in Canada or something like that, you know? What if it doesn't fit? What if it doesn't suit me properly? What if I just don't like the feel of the snowboard? I want to feel that there's some sort of a legitimacy so that I don't have buyer's remorse when I drop $730 on this. Like I said, I know I mentioned action photos. If you don't put action photos here, I would actually throw action photos lower in the fold. Not only are you going to want something that's going to be durable and legit for actual performance, but you also want something that fits your style. And there is sort of a lifestyle involved with snowboarding. You want to make sure that the brand imagery is super locked in. Now, obviously, doing an audit on your Shopify product page is going to take some time. It's not something that you can just do in a few minutes, but that's why I created PinkyBrain, because it streamlines this process. So if you want to speed it up and you don't want to do it manually, you can just get into PinkyBrain and go to the audits, and let me show you what it can do. All right, there you have it. So you've got your desktop experience here, your mobile experience here, and then you've got an audit with the clear framework completely laid out for you. Let's just read the first paragraph. The multi-location snowboard PDP presents a clean and straightforward layout with a focus on hero imagery and clear pricing. However, the absence of reviews and detailed sizing guidance may undermine shopper confidence, especially in a category where fit and performance are critical. The page lacks visible trust signals and reassuring messaging, which could be contributing to hesitation on or returns, despite the product's high price point. So we've got the desktop experience here. Gives you some key strengths and then some critical issues: no reviews, lack of detailed sizing or fit guidance, no visible shipping or returns information. Gallery is basic and lacks lifestyle images. And then it breaks it down into mobile as well. Everything that I just did, just super easy and streamlined instead of having to do it manually. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for more Shopify optimization videos. If you'd like to try PinkyBrain, it's available in the Shopify App Store. There's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.